Today we're talking about the co-op games from 2005. But first, let's see what else was happening in 2005. Jade Empire, God of War, Resident Evil 4, Shadow of the Colossus, Psychonauts, Mario Kart DS, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, Ninja Gaiden Black. We also saw the Game Boy Micro, as well as the Xbox 360. Now let's talk about the co-op games. Dragon Ball GT Transformation offers fans of the Dragon Ball GT series a solid beat-em-up experience on the Game Boy Advance. While it doesn't innovate in the genre, its well-executed design and impressive visuals make it a satisfying choice for on-the-go brawling. The game follows the story of Goku and his friends as they search for scattered Dragon Balls across different planets, providing a narrative backdrop for the action-packed gameplay. Although lacking multiplayer support in story mode, the game offers bonus survival-style games for solo or link play and features hidden characters and galleries to unlock. And you're still able to play through basically all of the levels of the story mode and two-player co-op, but they just don't have the cutscenes. So I'm not sure why they didn't just include it in the main story mode. Regardless, it's an underrated beat-em-up. And when it comes to Dragon Ball games, I think this is one of the better ones. Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith for the Game Boy Advance offers another side-scrolling beat-em-up experience, allowing players to control either Obi-Wan Kenobi or Anakin Skywalker as they navigate through 21 levels inspired by the film. While the combat can be repetitive and the game relatively short, it features cooperative multiplayer gameplay with link cable support. Players face hordes of droid and clone soldiers in familiar Star Wars locations, using lightsaber attacks and force powers. Boss battles and mini-boss encounters add variety to the gameplay. The character's development is customizable, with points earned for stylish play, used to upgrade health, strength, and force power. The game follows the film's story and faithfully represents its visuals and audio. The Star Wars prequels are not remembered fondly, and a lot of the games based on the prequels are equally not very favored by fans, but this is one of the better ones. The Warriors by Rockstar takes the cult classic movie The Warriors and turns it into a 3D beat-em-up video game. The game blends elements of Grand Theft Auto and Manhunt while delivering a deep combat system, solid AI, and mission-based gameplay. It tells the story of a gang from East Coney Island, offering more narrative and background than expected. The authentic presentation, capturing the gritty 1979 New York City, extends to hairstyles, clothing, graffiti, and music. The combat system, resembling an enhanced Manhunt, offers depth with grappling, combos, special attacks, rage moves, and more. This has a really great co-op mode as well. This is truly one of the best 3D beat-em-ups of all time. Timesplitters Future Perfect is the third installment in the series, offering an engaging story mode with time-traveling scenarios and a likable protagonist, Cortez. While the story mode is relatively short, it's filled with humor and it allows for co-op split-screen gameplay. The game boasts various features, including arcade and challenge modes. Multiplayer shines with numerous gameplay modes, bots, and online play for up to 16 players. The game's variety of weapons and map customization options, along with a map maker, make it an enjoyable choice for fans of the genre. This game came out on the PS2 and GameCube, and it's not the best in the series, but it's still a really solid first-person shooter. Champions Return to Arms by Snowblind Studios follows the pattern of its predecessors, offering a high fantasy hack-and-slash dungeon crawler, heavily influenced by Diablo games. The game, though seemingly more like an expansion pack than a true sequel, compensates with its content volume and engaging action. It continues the story from Champions of Norath, but the narrative is underwhelming compared to its predecessor. The game features various character classes, including newcomers like the Ixar Shaman and Va-Sheer Berserker, while the action remains relatively constant, with smashing barrels, looting chests, and battling hordes of foes. Branching skill tree and socketed equipment system add depth, and maintains its cooperative multiplayer mode. Despite some familiarity and slight monotony, it's a solid choice for hack-and-slash fans. Dark Watch by Sammy Studios combines the horror and western genres in a unique shooter experience. players assume the role of Jericho Cross, a train robber who unwittingly releases the soul of Satan's son and becomes a vampire. This cursed journey pits Cross against hordes of undead in the Arizona desert, with a secret organization called the Dark Watch as his only hope. The game offers a wide array of weapons and vampire-related powers, allowing players to engage in fast-paced, location-based combat. The campaign is enjoyable, but relatively short. A feature exclusive to the PlayStation 2 version is split-screen co-op. Dark Watch's presentation, with a comic book-style graphical design and impactful sound effects, complements its engaging gameplay. The game has a unique style. It's not the best first-person shooter on the PS2, but the unique atmosphere and story make it worth checking out. Global Defense Force, also known as Earth Defense Force in some regions, is a third-person action shooter game. Players control Earth Defense Force soldiers tasked with defending humanity from an invasion of giant creatures and robots. The story involves humanity's efforts to rebuild after a devastating war with the Ravagers, utilizing alien technology. The game offers dual stick and shoulder button driven controls, with players collecting new weapons and battling hordes of enemies. The addition of the Pale Wing class with jetpack mobility adds unique gameplay. Global Defense Force offers an engaging single-player campaign and a cooperative multiplayer mode, making it a worthwhile choice for action shooter fans. House of the Dead 4 revives the classic light gun shooter for the arcades, and then later it was ported to the PS3. Set between the second and third entries in the series, it follows James Taylor and newcomer Kate Green, battling zombies with a B-movie storyline and cheesy dialogue, which the series is known for. The on-rail shooter gameplay involves shooting zombies, who can defend themselves at times. Controls are intuitive. Although House of the Dead doesn't add anything new to the series, it continues the excellent light gun gameplay of its predecessors, and it's worth playing in co-op. Perfect Dark Zero, released in 2005 for the Xbox 360, had high expectations as the successor to the classic Perfect Dark on Nintendo 64. It aimed to deliver an exhilarating experience with improvements and additional content. The single-player mode offers varying difficulty levels, but suffers from weak enemy AI and laughably bad storyline. While the visuals excel in some areas, they can be questionable in others. The multiplayer aspects shine, featuring a wide range of modes, including cooperative play and online multiplayer with challenging AI bots. The multiplayer experience is the game's strongest point. However, the campaign can become tedious. It's nowhere near as good as the original Perfect Dark, but it's still worth trying out when played in co-op. Spikeout Battle Street, an arcade-style brawler released for the Xbox, attempts to recapture the glory of classic beat-em-up games like Final Fight and Streets of Rage. While it offers a variety of playable characters and cooperative multiplayer options, the single-player story mode takes players through Diesel Town, filled with various gangs and teams. The story features poorly designed cutscenes and subpar voice acting. The game's main drawback is its repetitive gameplay, with simplistic combos and a lack of challenge. But the strongest feature is that you can play through the entire game in 4-player split-screen co-op. I've always felt that the 3D beat-em-up never made a great transition from the side-scrolling 2D beat-em-ups in the arcades, and this is honestly not one of the best 3D beat-em-ups, but if you can play it in 4-player co-op, it's worth trying out. Released in 2005, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory marked a significant advancement in the series, offering 10 expansive levels with multiple paths and objectives. It removed incremental alert stages, allowing players to choose between stealth and action playstyles freely, offering an equipment selection screen at each level. The game introduced combat enhancements, such as lethal knife takedown, environmental kills, and door approaches, alongside improved AI with a multi-tiered alert system. It also featured an engaging co-op mode with designed missions for 2 players, introducing teamwork elements. The multiplayer mode expanded on the previous installment, offering new maps and game modes. The game was visually stunning with its exceptional sound design for its time. Chaos Theory solidified its position as a standout title in the Splinter Cell series. Talk 3, The Great Juju Challenge, is the third installment of the Nickelodeon-inspired Talk series, revolving around the adventure of Talk and Locke in the Great Juju Challenge competition. The game, offering single-player and cooperative mode, boasts charming character dynamics, cute moments, and a variety of moves and abilities, although the graphics are somewhat mediocre for its time. This game came out on the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. The game's primary drawback is its repetitive and tedious gameplay, and encountering level-stopping bugs, requiring going back and replaying levels. It does have an appealing cooperative mode, and that's how you should play the game. X-Men Legends 2: Rise of Apocalypse builds upon its predecessor's formula, offering a solid action RPG experience with significant improvements. With the addition of 4-player online co-op, a wide range of playable characters from both X-Men and Brotherhood of Evil, and more interactive environments, players can enjoy mutant hacking and slashing, power upgrades, and teamwork, making it a thrilling experience for fans of the comics, movies, and action RPGs. The game also introduces the option to play as evil mutants, adding depth to the gameplay. While the core design remains familiar, these enhancements make Rise of Apocalypse a compelling sequel for fans of the X-Men universe and RPG enthusiasts. The game's comic book style graphics and talented voice cast contribute to its overall appeal, earning it a spot among the top comic book games of its time. So those are some of the co-op games from 2005. What are some that we missed? And if you enjoyed this video, check out our video from last week, where we talked about the co-op games from 2004. Thank you for watching.